Sports. Thanks for watching. Before I get into your NBA scores, we're going to take a look at some highlights from PXC 10 Final Redemption. Check it out.
PXC 10 Final Redemption wrapped up another successful show from the Fieldhouse. 10 action-packed fights went down with fighters from Guam taking on fighters out of Saipan, Hawaii, and California. In the first fight of the evening, Guam's Baby Joe the Juggernaut Timinglo went up against Jake Shields' Kickboxing Academy student Jimmy Jarquin. Both fighters came in at a trim 145 pounds. The first 2 rounds went back and forth with each fighter getting takedowns and landing shots from the guard and mount positions. Round 3 started off with a whole lot of action as Baby Joe came out swinging, landing shots to Jarquin. Despite winning the round, the fight would be called to a draw. The second fight was just as exciting. Saipan's Jason Tarkong and undefeated Guam fighter Paul Kenga wasted no time mixing things up. After a quick start by Tarkong, Kenga reversed the action, getting the mount, raining down with shots late in the first round. Tarkong would later mount Paul Kenga and rain down with shots of his own as round 1 came to an end. Round 2 saw Jason Tarkong come out with kicks to the body of Kenga, followed by punches and more kicks to the body, landing a left, a solid right hook to the face of Kenga that dropped him, and landed another solid right before the fight was called by referee stoppage. When you one-time Bamba and Hanson Nathan kept fans yelling in their fight, Nathan stepped in last minute as Ryan Urquizu and Bamba were unable to go on with their fight due to a big weight difference. Both fighters were down to scrap but were denied by the boxing commission. Bamba and Nathan, both knockout specialists, came out throwing haymakers. When you would catch Hanson Nathan, nicknamed the Butcher, and rock him, the Butcher stood his ground, taking everything Bamba had to offer. One time continued to land punches, and there still stood the Butcher. The blows would eventually take their toll, and Hanson Nathan would go down, giving When You One Time Bamba the win in PXC 10. Brian Howard and Manny Lanizu went to war in fight number 4. Lanizu is Saipan's lightweight champ. After winning Saipan's 4-man tournament, he earned his way to PXC to take on Howard. Lanizu displayed excellent takedown skills, landing punches and staples from up top that cut Howard. After a quick check by the doctors, the fight went on. Howard came out with a flurry of punches, looking to keep the fight standing. Lanizu would close the gap once again and take down Howard and get dominant position on his opponent. The first round went to Manny Lanizu as he scored points with all his takedowns. Late in the fight with Lanizu up top, Howard would escape backdoor and turn things around, working in some punches as he looked to finish the round off strong, going into round number 3.
Manny looking very winded, very tired. Manny gives up on the fight. Brian Howard wins. Manny is giving up. The towel, well, technically the towel was thrown in.
Justin Cruz out of Spike 22 and Jay Munya representing Saipan went to work in the 135-pound class. Munya and Cruz exchanged punches early on. Jay Munya catches Justin Cruz with a shot that sent him to the canvas. Cruz would gain his composure and take Munya down. Justin would get takedowns at will, pretty much establishing dominance throughout the entire second round. Jay Munya gave his back to Cruz, who would get the rear naked choke but couldn't finish Jay off, as Munya would show excellent defense, preventing Cruz from cinching it in. Jay Munya showed heart and skill, not allowing the shocker to tap him out. The third and final round picked up from where they left off, punches, then Justin taking Munya down to the ground. Cruz would get the back of Munya again and still not be able to get the submission, as this fight went to the scorecards.
There you have it. The judges have ruled.
He had like a million takedowns, you know what I mean? And those points add up.
Chris the Supernatural Duenas went up against another Jake Shields fighter out of California, Frank Gomez. Gomez, a stand-up fighter with wrestling background, looked well-rounded in last night's fight. Duenas dropped down a weight class, moving from 155 pounds to the 145-pound weight class. After an offensive attack by Gomez, Duenas was able to get out of an attempted submission. Duenas gets the slam and eventually the takedown with side control. With both fighters clinched, Gomez takes Duenas down, almost gives up the armbar. Chris Duenas working the arm, tries to stretch it out, but Frank Gomez with enough experience doesn't give in to the submission. Gomez later works in the ground and pound round, taking advantage of his reach and uses his striking skills to get the referee stoppage. Local boys Micah Tobias and John Ogo showed fight fans a stand-up battle as both fighters went toe-to-toe, blow for blow. Tobias worked in low kicks to the leg of Ogo, looking to chop his opponent down, then go up top with strikes. John Ogo kept pressing forward, keeping the pressure on Tobias. Ogo coming off a win in Prebahow, with Tobias sporting a 2-0 record. After a first round of heavy leather being thrown, round 2 was just the same. Ogo moving forward and Tobias landing kicks. Micah landing a solid kick to the face of Ogo, followed by some punches. Tobias catches Ogo late in the round with a right followed by a left that drops him, finishing him off with another right, winning the fight by TKO. In one of the most anticipated fights of the night, Jotnia's Jesse the Spider-Man Titano went up against the heavier Albert Always Bad Manners. Manners dropped down from 145 to 135 for this fight. Titano trained with Baby Joe for this match as Baby Joe came out on top over Manners in PXC 8. The Spider-Man managed to take down Manners throughout the fight, earning points if the fight did go to the cards. Jesse Titano drew first blood with Manners bleeding from the nose and mouth. Titano once again with a takedown on his much taller opponent. Things wouldn't go in the Spider's favor as he looked drained, halting the fight in referee stoppage.
There you go, it's over. Manners wins.
Slade Adebayo, another fighter out of the Marianas, took on big man Mike the Ogre Davis. Davis cornering his opponent, starts throwing some bombs. Adebayo goes down from some hard shots. Mike Davis continues to land some solid punches, forcing referee Larry Landless to call the fight, winning by referee stoppage. Manny the Enforcer Chong and Charles Aiken was the 10th and final fight for the PXC Heavyweight Championship belt. Aiken, coming from Saipan after winning the 4-man heavyweight tournament there, earned his shot at the title. Aiken showing his strength with the takedown on Chong. Charles Aiken going for the mount, gets taken down by the Enforcer, who falls into his guard. Manny gets the mount position and starts landing some shots to Aiken.
Our champion with the full mount.
Let's see if Aiken can get out of this.
Charles
Aiken powering his way up. See how strong he is?
Reversing it.
Aiken's very strong.
Ooh, my goodness, back in the side.
Aiken didn't let up on the champ, throwing some heavy shots, following up with some staples. With no response from the Enforcer, the referee would stop the fight, giving the win and belt to Charles Aiken.
He's the heavyweight champ.
Charles Aiken is the new PXC heavyweight champion here. Oh my goodness, pandemonium has struck the UOG Fieldhouse. Veteran fighter Charles Aiken definitely